Welcome to the first day of November. It is cold and clear here. No snow yet, although we've had some, just not today. I'll give it just a little bit here and let anybody join who may be coming in this evening. And then I'm going to start because I want to do some old school tapping today. And this would be some of the techniques used by the founder, Gary Craig, when he was originally putting all of this together a lot of years ago. And some of these techniques are no longer really in common use. A lot of new practitioners don't even know them. But I think sometimes there's a good application for these. So we're going to do some tapping, and we're going to use what's called the 9 gamut. I can't remember why they call it that. Been too many years, but I learned it this way. So we're going to go ahead and start with this, and what we're going to do is tap continuously this point, and it's between your little finger and your ring finger, and about maybe half an inch up on top of your hand. Just use several fingers and tap there. That way you'll be sure to get it. And we're going to tap that continuously while we do a series of things that are going to cause right-left brain communication and activate different areas of our brain. Hair getting in my way today. So this is the way it'll look while we're tapping. You're going to open your eyes wide, then close them tight. Then we're going to look down to the right, then down to the left without moving your head. And you keep tapping. Then you're going to do an eye roll a couple times one direction, then the other direction. Then we're going to hum a few bars of happy birthday. Then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to hum again. Now music and math, this is going to cause some different areas of the brain to be active. So it's a good thing to do before we tap. Oh, makes my nose itch thinking about it. So let's start with this. And let's get some brain crossover going. So just tapping this point and open your eyes wide. Close them tight. Look down hard to the right. And look down hard to the left. Now, I want you to roll your eyes all the way around the outside a couple of times. Now go back the other direction. Okay, now hum happy birthday. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hum again. Okay, good. Now that got our brains kind of synced up and ready to go. Now we're going to go in and just do some regular tapping. Even though I am having all these menopausal symptoms and I'm stressed out about it, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I have a lot of symptoms, and I think they're the result of menopause, I completely love and accept myself. I'm having hot flashes and a whole bunch of other nasty stuff. But I choose to be okay anyway. I appreciate how I feel about all of these things. And I profoundly love and accept myself. Top of the head. I can't seem to get rid of the hot flashes. Hey, Sherry. And I'm miserable. And I'm out of balance. But what if I could come back into balance? Nah, I can't do it. I don't know how. I'm just out of balance. I think I'm supposed to have symptoms with menopause. That's what they told me. I think I'm supposed to have hot flashes and night sweats and all of that stuff. I think I'm supposed to have it. But what if I don't? What if they lied? What if this is just a limiting belief? Well, these people should know. I mean, a lot of them are doctors and respected people in their fields. And they said this would happen to me. And they told me it was normal. And maybe they told me that they could give me a pill for it. But I'm open to looking at this in a new way. What if maybe they believed it and didn't deliberately lie? What if they just didn't know any better? I choose to forgive all the people who told me that I had to suffer with menopause. I forgive myself for believing this. It's created an unpleasant thing in my life. And I allow myself to know that maybe I don't have to have this. I know there are women out there who do not have symptoms of menopause. Nothing unpleasant. So maybe this is possible for me too. I give myself permission to be open to the possibility that I can have perfectly normal cycles of life, including menopause, with no bad effect. I allow myself to understand that maybe I don't have to have hot flashes. What if I am in charge of my body? I allow myself to treat myself with love and compassion, and to know that this cycle of my life is perfectly normal. And it's okay for me to embrace it. And to love myself. Exactly as I am right now. I release the need to have unpleasant menopause symptoms. It's safe to let it go now. It's safe for me to feel good. It's safe for me to be in charge of my body. Because I love myself. And I love my body. My body does some wonderful things for me. And it doesn't get nearly the appreciation that it deserves. For instance, last night while I was asleep, my heart kept beating, my lungs kept breathing, all of my organs continued to function perfectly. So maybe I can have this be a normal cycle of my life. I'm certainly open to it now. Peace. Okay, now I want to do some tapping. We're going to tap finger points, which is, again, a thing that they don't even teach anymore. But it's a part of the original basic recipe. And it's just on the outside of each of the fingers. And either hand, again, is completely bilateral. It doesn't matter which. So let's just say, I allow my body to come back into balance so that I can feel good all the time. I allow my body to come back into balance. I allow my mind and body to become balanced together. It feels good to come back into balance now. I completely love and honor myself. And I appreciate my wonderful body and my healthy brain. Okay, good. That was good. Okay. Now, sometimes we take on stress that does not belong to us. And I'm doing this in all of my groups right now, just because, all of us, all practitioners of all the healing arts are overwhelmed by clients coming to us who are watching the news and seeing terrible stuff, and they're overwhelmed. And a lot of practitioners have allowed themselves to become overwhelmed by it. And that's not a good thing. So I want to do a little bit of tapping to help you kind of pull your energy back in and to know that you're all right and that you're safe, and to kind of give you a little different perspective on it. And if you are not having good boundaries, especially for those who don't have good boundaries, and sometimes women don't, we think it's our job to help in the world, and women do a tremendous amount of good in the world. But you've got to identify what belongs to you and what you can really do something about, and what doesn't belong to you and what you need to just go, bless it and let it go. Honor it and let it go. So let's just start here. The gamut thing that we did, you don't need to do that every time. I like to do it occasionally. Just use it as needed. If you liked it, feel free. I am so stressed out by all the stuff that's on the news. I'm really stressed out. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I'm carrying a tremendous amount of stress, I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to a new perspective that will help me let some of this go. Top of the head. There's a lot of bad stuff happening out in the world. I know this because it's on the news. I see it on my computer, on my phone, on television. And it makes me feel sad and scared and angry. And I am taking on a lot of stress from seeing these things. And this is stress that does not belong to me. But what if these things are happening and all on the news for a reason? What if there's a higher purpose being served here? I give myself permission to know that you can't clean a house if you don't see where the dirt is. And maybe all of these things are coming up and looking awful to inspire us to grow as humans. Not just to take on stress, but what if we're seeing these problems so that we can change them? I give myself permission to understand that when I take on stress that does not belong to me, even though it really upsets me, if it doesn't belong to me, it keeps me from being effective in the world. It takes me out of my power and keeps me from doing my best in my life and in the world. And I'm going to choose a better way. Because I'm powerful. So when I feel my stress level rising, I agree to set better boundaries and to really appreciate whether or not this stress belongs to me and whether or not I can actually do anything about it. And if the answers to these questions are no, then I'm going to tap and release it. Because I can do a lot of good in the world. I honor myself for all of the good things I've already done. And I choose to do more. I allow myself to remember that the smallest act of kindness creates a ripple in the world. And that I don't know where that ends. Maybe it doesn't. I choose to pay attention to what I am putting out in my ripple. Do I want fear in it? No, I don't. I want love and joy and kindness because those are powerful and I'm powerful. Okay, good. You may need to come back and do that one more than once. I know it's really difficult to watch the news now, and you may need to limit your exposure to it in order to be at your best. Some do. I don't think that staying uninformed is necessarily a good thing, but you may need to limit what you're watching, and feel free to do that if you need to. Give yourself permission to help yourself first. This is one of the reasons that when you're on a plane, they tell you that if your oxygen mask drops out of the top of the plane, to put yours on first before you help somebody else. And if you're traveling with a child, to put your mask on first. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you can lose consciousness and then lose your ability to help someone else. So this is a good analogy. You have to keep yourself clear. help yourself first. Use some of these energy tools that you are learning here. Tap, do mirror work. Use your tools because you have them now. So I will be doing some work. I want you to put some comments in for me. Give me some tapping requests. We have about a week left in the group. I want tapping requests. I want to know how you're getting along. I want to know how you're sleeping, if the hot flashes are less, if they're improving. Talk to me so that I can create some more work for you. And as always, thank you. And I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.